Hey, 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 it's Kristen Leigh, aka Super K, on my morning walk with Bodhi. And I felt inspired to go live and talk about something that I have been really studying for quite some time now and wanted to share it with you all. So today I was inspired to talk about feeding the field of consciousness. And I'm actually in the process of finishing up a book I'm writing called Feeding the Field. And it's something that I feel that isn't talked about enough or ever taught to us. And it's really important because, you know, you may hear we're all connected. And what that means to you or doesn't mean to you, it is all a perspective in a sense where for me, when we're all connected, I feel it's energetically and vibrationally. You know, our heart has an electric magnetic field that is 60 times greater than our thoughts, but our thoughts also have a frequency. And so we are all connected in what we call this collective consciousness. Now, this consciousness is the one, the whole of everything, where all information sits. Some may call it the quantum field. And so this area is influenced by every single human, the collective whole of all 8 billion people on this planet. And what we put out into that field can affect others. It's like a ripple effect. So imagine a stone being dropped into a pond and you watch the ripples ripple out where it doesn't just affect the area where it was dropped, which would be like the area of your thought and in your mind, because your thoughts are not private. Just to let you know, your thoughts go out into this collective consciousness, into the quantum field, and can be picked up by others. And we have to be very careful to make sure that what we are feeling and what we are thinking is of the utmost positive side. Of course, that doesn't mean don't let, have your day affect you, but don't let it control you. Don't let it take over your mind and stay there. What we need to do is learn how to flip it or alchemize it and take that emotion, acknowledge it, feel it, and use the energy that's coming from that thought for good. Now, what I feel is possible, my hypothesis, is if we have enough people understanding about feeding the field of consciousness, we don't have to listen to what's on the mainstream media or what's being shown to us, marketing and everything. We have a choice to either look at those stories that they're showing us of constant war, sickness, death, disease, everything bad. Have you seen any positive stories on the news? I don't know, because I don't watch the news. I stopped watching the news years ago because it did me no good. My mental capacity was being filled with, one, a story that's a narrative that the collective 1% wants us to see, which is bad. They want to keep us, or they know they can, if we follow their guidance of fearing the next event that is going to be catastrophic, or worrying about the next disease that's coming out and to be worried about it, or showing all the war and hunger and everything. That should touch our hearts to help humanity, not to, sit back and go, oh, it's not me. So using the news for what it is, but not letting it affect you, is so important. And knowing that we have choice of letting that dictate how we feel as hopeless individuals or as empowered, and knowing that with collective consciousness, when you have, they say less than 1% of the population thinking and desiring from their heart the same thing, which if I asked any human what would they desire for humanity, I hope you can hear me because there's a little bit of wind, is you would desire peace, unity, and humanity working together as one. That is the ultimate goal. I feel everybody would want to love your neighbors as yourself. Love yourself. And right now we are loving our neighbors as ourselves. If you realize there's a lot of strife in our own minds, never mind in the world around us. So if we don't learn to take initiative and love ourselves, we are only going to push down the ability to send out loving thoughts and feelings to others. This could be very detrimental to humanity as a whole if we all stay in this victim mentality and I'm not saying everybody is, but as it's, oh no, I need the government to save me. I need someone to save me. I need Jesus to come back to save me. I'm sorry, but we are not meant to wait around. And I know some people, some in my family, are waiting for Jesus to come and save the day. And I say, why are you depending on someone else? And my belief on that is it's a consciousness. Christ's consciousness is coming back. It's awakening in people. I'm not saying that Jesus won't come back. Don't quote me. But my belief is it's Christ consciousness. Christ is coming back. The consciousness of Christ, which is the knowing, our innate ability to, one, heal ourselves through the divine, love and grace. When we give ourselves that grace and we don't beat ourselves up mentally, we're not creating those chemicals in our body that are producing the feeding mechanism to the cells that are diseased, which creates disease. And we literally are our own grave diggers. If you think about it, and you've ever heard thoughts become things, this is not woo-woo. This is truth. Your thought is a frequency that goes out and vibrates into the quantum field. And God, source, divine, does not say anything other than yes. Yes. Ask and you shall receive. Well, how many of us don't realize what we are co-creating in our reality through our words? If you go about and saying, I am broke, I'm sick, I am unhealthy, I am lost, or I want more money, I want more prosperity, I want better health. Well, the divine's going to say, yeah, you want it? I'll keep showing you that you want it, rather than saying I am in a positive tone, or I am so grateful now that. These are key words that we are not putting into our subconscious mind because we've been programmed to want. Marketing is so good at getting us to want this, want that. But if you use the power of intention, attention, and feeling is the secret. We must feel in order to receive, because that is the language of the heart. The heart is the gateway to multiple dimensions, to be able to connect, to have it felt. So when you're in fear, lack, pain, shame, guilt, your vibration coming out of your heart, that electromagnetic field is 60 times greater. You're putting out into the field. You're feeding the field this vibration. This is what I believe that the 1%ers want from us. That's why they're putting out only negative information on the internet, okay? On the news. They want to keep us at a lower vibration. But it's time that we make a choice and use our free will to feed the field with positivity, with gratitude, with appreciation for one another, to truly go out of your way and be present in the moment to notice if someone needs a helping hand. Because when we give from the heart without reciprocity, the field will feed us back. God gives back to us and brings it in ways that we could never imagine. And those that are sitting in lack, they're digging their own grave of more lack because of the words they use. I am the great I am. The words I am are so powerful because you're declaring to God what you say you are, and he's going to agree, okay? Agreeing with what you say. So if you're struggling financially, and there's a lot of poverty in this world right now, say, I am so happy and grateful that I have money to provide everything I need in my life. I am abundant. I am wealthy. I am wise. I am healthy. I am prosperous. Speak words of life, because our words can defile us or they can give us life. And all of this is in the Bible in different ways. And I feel like some people that I know read it in a way of not taking it to heart. They go, oh yeah, those words, but they're just reading it in words that aren't penetrating the heart to understand. And when I sit in prayer and meditation, I literally open my vessel up to be able to get divine guidance, to be able to commune with the whole of collective consciousness, and I can see areas that I need to work on, okay? I am shown for me because my perspective is different than everybody else's in this world, and that's so beautiful and unique to us. And I feel if we start feeding the field compassion, understanding, for different viewpoints, for different thoughts, for ideas, and rather than judge them, because we are not to be judgers. And I don't know if, we all understand the word judging. It's having an opinion of someone else's thought or belief. And if we start judging, who are we to judge? Because it's different than our perspective, we think they're wrong. And they're not wrong. They're right in their worldview. We all see worlds differently. Some will feel like the world is hard on them. And it's because that's what they're feeding the field. They're getting more of that in return. It's like a projector. Your thoughts are going to project on this 3D reality, or you can call it a matrix. If you want to act as if it's like a game, where playing the game of life is the most beautiful gift we have, where we have the ability to change our circumstances. And going back to the Bible, have faith in the unseen and not depend on sight. We have to believe in the unseen. It's faith and belief, not in what we see in this world. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that is when you'll be able to test the true and pleasing will of God. That's Romans 12:2. And that stuck with me. And when I really sat and meditated on that verse in the Bible, I realized we need to renew our mind. Now, some say, you know what, easier said than done. And yes, it takes time, because we have been programmed since before birth. I think they say it's 6 months in, or maybe even 3 months of, being conceived, that we start, maybe it's 6, that we start the programming. We have consciousness. And so everything we hear, see, smell, taste, touch, we're identifying with these things, and we are being taught by parents, by friends, by teachers, by religious groups, by cultural groups. We're being taught what to believe. Now, what I did about 4 years ago is I wiped the slate clean of my mind and said, I am going to discern everything I see and feel and go within, because the kingdom of God is within, not without. So I'm not looking for people to tell me who I am, what is this, what is that, what is the meaning of this, because everybody wants to share their opinion. And of course, other people's opinions may resonate with you, and that means you may be part of the same frequency and at the same vibration. And you attract what you are, not what you want. So understanding you attract what you are, not, I am a woman, I am a mom, I am a wife, I am a sister. I'm not that. What you are vibrationally. So think of it this way, a radio station. You've got these frequencies, and depending on that radio station is what you're going to hear. Or TV, a channel, what you're going to see. So they're all on a different channel. And our vibrations are on different channels. So when we're in pain, shame, guilt, grief, suffering, we are going to see in our life things that make that true for us. Because again, I said God only says yes. So what we are thinking and feeling, poor me, I'm this, I'm that, you are going to see more things in your reality that prove it is true, because you're telling God that's what you are, and it's going to give you more, because the answer is yes. Now, if you decide to shift and start feeding the field something different, give it a shot. Maybe that's not your norm, because you're just so in a program of, maybe you have some shame and you don't even realize, but you're feeling heavy and you're not sure why. It's that shame holding you down. Try to go to the other side of that, stick, if it's on two opposite sides, and instead of shame, feel gratitude, or feel, pride. Pride doesn't have to be bad if it's not used in power. Pride is proud of who you are moving to become, working to change who you are vibrationally. When you start doing this, and you do it consistently, I found even after a week of staying in a higher vibrational state, 51% of my day, it has to just be a little bit more than 51% of your day, try to stay in your heart, try to stay in gratitude, work on doing good for others, hold the door for someone at the grocery store, give a smile. Maybe if you're going through a drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts, pay for the person behind you, because the ripple effect, you never know whose life it changes, and it feels good. And then don't sit around waiting for them to thank you. Just drive off and go, and just know that you did it from your heart, and watch how beautiful things will start happening for you. But don't do it in intent of getting something back, just know that the universe does not miss a beat, does not miss a thing you're thinking. Your thoughts are not private. Everything goes out into the quantum. Everything you're feeling goes out into the quantum. And also, I want you to realize that your thoughts, if you're thinking negative thoughts towards someone, it is actually penetrating them, because we are all connected through this vibrational frequency of the quantum field. We are all one, essentially. So what you're thinking negatively of someone, you're actually able to penetrate them, and it actually can do them disservice. It's pulling down their vibration, and it's actually affecting their biofield. And I'm guilty of this. If I'm frustrated with someone, I keep playing it over and over again in my head, and it'll get on my nerves. I'm doing them more harm, but I'm also doing myself harm, because what we send out, like attracts like, it will find me. It's like a boomerang, guys. What you send out will come back. It's karma, it's the law, it's the natural law, it's God's law. It has to come back. Maybe not in the same way or the same time, but it will find you. So imagine if you could change the field around you. And I've been doing experiments and studies with this, and I showed it on a previous live, of the biofield. Let me see if I can go into my computer right now and do a scan live with you so you can see what can happen. It's really powerful when we focus on the unseen things. I've been really digging in the past few years of metaphysics, quantum physics, neuroscience, epigenetics, all the things, because I truly want to know thyself. I want to, that's another verse that's been in my head a lot, and it's know thyself. And being able to know yourself is understanding yourself on a whole different level. There's Super K up there. So let me see. I'm not going to do a scan right this moment, but I'll pull up my scans from this past week so you can see. And I do experiments on myself because I want to be able to show and prove what is possible through positive thoughts and intentions, and doing certain things that are good for your body in order to help you. So here's some, let me flip my screen. So here is a biofield reader, okay? And what I have is this device. Sorry, I was with a client doing it earlier. So here is the biofield device. It's called the BioWell machine. And what I do is you scan your fingers. There's a piece of glass in there that scans it, and it pulls up and it can read what's going on in your nervous system, all different, your stress level, energy level, organ disbalance. And so that's before, like there's different things it can tell you. It's absolute organ energy, what's going on in your organs. Let's see, everything. It's so amazing. Your biorhythm, if you've never heard of biorhythm, it's how your body reacts to the way, from the day you're born to whatever day it is, emotionally, physically, and intellectually. So if you're feeling really down, what's today? Today is the 10th. So the 10th, physically, I am low energy, and I am. This is so true. But emotionally, I'm coming back on a high. And on the 3rd, I was very low. I felt like I just felt down, and I wasn't sure why. But knowing that it's part of my biofield, my biorhythm, it allowed me to give myself grace and know that it's not that I'm depressed. I'm just feeling a little lower than normal because of where the stars and the moon and everything aligns for me that day. So here's before. You see, I made some notes before breath work. This is one thing I want to show is 59 joules. Joules is how they measure the energy of our biofields. Think of it kind of like volts, energy in your body. And so this is before breath work, and this was after breath work. So you can see I went to 61. So I gained 2 joules. Gaining joules is what we want. We want to extend our biofield, because they say, kids, their biofield is wider than adults. Adults at the age of 40, it's almost like inside of us. Our biofield is what allows us to connect using our mirror neurons at our brain and being able to connect to multiple dimensions, be able to get intuitive hits. If this is not vibrant, and so let me see. So for someone older, this was someone in their 70s, they're a lot lower in their 40s. And honestly, 40s is roughly where most of, the clients that I start working with, they're in their 30s or 40s for joules. And as we continue to work together, it extends their biofield. And when your biofield is vibrant and wide, your immune system's good, you're healthy, your consciousness is great. And this also contributes to what we eat. Okay, so let's see, this is before breath work. On this day was the 6th. This is before my breath work. I was at 62 and then I went to 66. So breath work is you're breathing, you're oxygenating all of your organs, your brain, and extends your biofield. It's helping you radiate more light. Let's see, this is before a mediumship class. So I'm taking mediumship classes, and it's not just to speak with the dead. It's more about understanding who we are on a vibrational level, on a consciousness level, and how we are actually able to connect to multiple dimensions. When we clear our vessel and open it up, we can connect with, I can connect with Jesus, God. We can connect to ascended masters, angels, past loved ones. It's our human nature. It's natural, but it's been told to us that it's not natural. Every human being is intuitive, and that's pretty much, it's your intuitive senses is what mediumship is. It's not, just someone that's speaking to the dead. There's so much more to it, and it's been, really tainted through the years of making it seem bad to scare us from our God-given abilities to be able to connect. And when you do that, you're literally connecting to your higher self. You're connecting to what we were supposed to. But through fear, pain, shame, guilt, grief, you can't have that in your body in order to be able to hear the higher wisdom of how to live your life in the greatest way you can, to remind you of why you came to this planet during this time and why you're here. Some people may be in such a low point going, why would I choose this? I don't want to be here anymore. But when you start activating your biofield and it extends outside of you, you will be able to connect to the feelings and emotions of joy and everything else. The higher your vibration is, the higher your emotional state is. And the higher your vibration is, the bigger your biofield is. And this is so important. It's something we've never been taught. So let me go back to this real quick. So before mediumship class, I was at 59 and I jumped to 62. And this is at night. So this is like at 10 o'clock at night. So for me to have this biofield still and have all this energy is absolutely beautiful. And then these ones I was just doing tests real quick. But what I want you to understand is our biofield is what's feeding the field. So our biofield has all the information about what's going on in our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings. And if we continue to feed the field of consciousness, the collective consciousness, we will destroy ourselves if we continue to feed it those lower vibrational emotions and thoughts. So it's our responsibility, not Jesus's responsibility, to come back and save us. It's the consciousness that Christ had, that we are whole and complete just the way we are, that we are loved. We are loved. That is our divine nature. We are loved, but we have walked so far off the path because of what we have seen, what we're being shown. It lowers our vibration. So we have to be very careful what we let into our consciousness. What are you watching on TV? What are you watching on Netflix and Hulu? Are you watching murder shows? Are you watching scary movies, things that create a chemical response? Because every emotion produces a chemical. That chemical goes into your body, into your blood. We are toxifying our blood through our thoughts, through our emotions. And that blood is going through your whole body. And if you have any dis-ease in your vibrational frequency, in your body, stress, shame, pain, guilt, grief, any of those, you are going to use that toxified blood now, and it's feeding the organs, and it's making these dis-ease turn into disease, and tumors, cancers, everything grow. And we are literally, like I said earlier, digging our own graves because we are not in control. We do not have sovereignty over our thoughts. And that is what is wanted from us, is our humanism, our thoughts, our emotions is the commodity. And what they put on TV, these pharmaceutical prescription commercials, these negative news things, they're using it in a way, and it's controlling us, and it's making us sick. What we think, we can think of something. And I heard a story a few years ago of a doctor who was working in the hospital and went into the wrong room and told them that they had terminal cancer and they were going to die in 24 hours. And this guy was not, the room next to him was the guy that had cancer. Well, this doctor went in, told him the next day he went in and the guy was dead, and he was not in there for for cancer. There was some other thing going on with him that wasn't going to kill him. And because his thoughts and beliefs were so strong of believing what that doctor said, it took his life. That's how powerful someone's opinion or thought can control our body, our biology. All right. And I just watched a beautiful video by Greg Braden. If you haven't heard of him, he's a geologist, and he's been studying so much into the chromosomes. And so he was studying all of Egypt and fossils and geology. And going in through geology, he was digging in deeper and found that on chromosome 2, there was some abnormalities that weren't naturally produced. That means that someone or something had altered our DNA. And when he dissected it, he realized the information in the DNA, the numbers that follow DNA patterns, he was able to use the Aramaic and Hebrew language, and those have numbers associated with each letter. And when he took the DNA strand of what it was stating and the Hebrew Aramaic language and matched up those letters, the words and information it came out with is God eternal within the body. So the DNA was altered with information, and that information on every chromosome ended up coming out to the information that's implanted into our chromosomes is God eternal within the body. Now imagine our DNA cells are stating we are God eternal within the body. We are a fragment of the whole of God. We are just like kids, they get our stuff from our DNA and genetics and everything. And so they're our children. We are God's children. And in the DNA, the information was stored and decoded. And if you want, you can find that on YouTube. Just type in Greg Braden, God within the body, God eternal within the body, and you'll find that video. It's about 2.5 hours long. It's absolutely amazing, the scientific proof behind it. Now, if we start living our life realizing I am God eternal within the body, I am a fragment of that whole of God, we are all God's children, would he want us to be full of shame, pain, guilt, and grief? No, because we are always forgiven. So we need to forgive ourselves for how we have been treating ourselves and what we have been feeding the field, and understand that we have a choice now to feed the field something different. We can feed the field positivity. We can feed the field abundance. We can feed the field gratitude. And I encourage anybody who this resonates with to try it out. I have been doing experiments on gratitude, and I actually have a book that I wrote, and it's The Ultimate Success Blueprint, 90 Days to Transform Your Life. And what this is it has, your daily tasks, things that you do, but you don't just do what you have to do for work that you don't enjoy. You put things you have to do to give self-care to you, because self-care is so important. If we don't care for ourselves, how can we care for anybody else? We need to fill our cup and serve from the overflow. And then also, how are you feeling? Things you're grateful for. If you do not keep a gratitude journal every day, you are missing out on the divine beauty that God gave us. When we use gratitude and feed that into the field, it comes back to us. I have been doing this, and it's just so beautiful. My biofield's expanding. And also, with the gratitude, synchronicities happen, manifestations happen, and we manifest all the time, good, bad, or indifferent. We just don't realize it. Our words are creating and our thoughts are creating what we see in front of us. But intentional creation is, I sat in meditation and prayer. I was saying, I'm so grateful that I'm going to be able to talk to this coach, because I'm applying for a grant with the Heart Math Institute, and we want to do some studies for high school football players. And I was like, oh, this coach, I haven't talked to him in months. I don't have his number. I have to find out how to get a hold of him. But I sat in meditation and prayer and said, I'm so grateful now that I've bumped into this guy and that he's open and wanting to be part of this grant and this research project for my nonprofit. And so I did that. And on Saturday afternoon, I go to a public event. It was on May 4th, for May the 4th be with you, is a Star Wars thing. And I get to that event, and something told me to turn around. I turn around, and there's the coach that I needed to connect with. And I spoke to him, and he was super excited and can't wait, to be part of this research project we're going to be doing. And how beautiful is that? A synchronicity happened because I was showing gratitude and using my heart for the whole week. Well, longer than that. I do this as a practice every day, but really sitting with that intent of gratitude that it has already happened, believing in the unseen as if it was already seen. And that brought it. God was able to align everything for me and put him in my place. Now, do you understand the power of intention? And when you ask, you receive. It says it in the Bible. And using this intention because it's for good. I want to be able to do this to help research for humanity, and a modality that I believe can truly help people have heart and brain coherence in a way that can actually renew their mind and change their lives and get rid of that trauma, pain, shame, guilt, and grief. And so my heart was in it, and it was felt, and the answer is yes. And that, imagine all the things that had to happen to change that guy's plans to be there with his family at the same time as my family was there. It's just this beautiful world that we live in. If you look at it and notice the magic, magic is not some mystical thing. It's our human right. It's our natural nature. It is what we're supposed to be living. It's what we're supposed to be living every single day. It's not supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be confusing. It is supposed to help us grow. Yes, those things help us grow. Hold on, I'm just going to open my blinds. But you want to make sure that you are focused on the good, not the bad. And yes, we have situations. And like I said before, alchemize them before they start radiating out into the quantum field, because that is only going to hurt not only you, but also humanity as a whole. So my ask is everybody just try to find a moment to sit in your heart space, breathe into that heart, and ask, what can you do today to make a difference in feeding the field? And if you do fall from grace and you get mad and you get in a fight, or, something frustrates you, before you go to bed tonight, go through your day, and it's a little trick, go in reverse, because you're now creating a new neuron connection, because you're doing something different than you normally do. You're creating new neuron receptors. And anytime you pop into something that you went, oh, that fight today, oh, I'm not proud of that, replay it in your mind of how you would have liked it to come out and what you feel you could do next time to make that change. Go, I wouldn't have reacted. I would have sat in my heart and responded. When we do this, we actually can alchemize that vibration out there, and we can reverse it so it doesn't come back and haunt us, but actually can be used for good. We alchemize that emotion and that field going out into the quantum. Now, feeding the field is real, guys. And I should have my new book, Feeding the Field, out within the next 2 weeks. And it's just such a beautiful thing. I actually started writing some, those of you who don't know, writing some books, Unleashing the Power of the Superconscious and Becoming a Co-Creator. This is one that I wrote. This one I actually took down because I redid it and renamed it under my Conscious Cliff Notes. And then manifesting through blessings, using the power of our words and our intention and the high vibrational words to manifest blessings. Now, again, manifestation, some people think is woo-woo, but it's co-creating your reality with the divine, where your thoughts are going out into the field, your emotions are going out into the field. And again, the answer God gives is yes. So we have to be careful that we're using the words that are going to attract what we desire from our hearts. And when we feed the field positivity, you'll notice positivity comes back to you, like that boomerang I told you about. But if we keep feeding the field, let's see. Yes, totally agree. Thank you for the enlightener. If you always do things you always done, you always get things you always got. Absolutely, Bobby. And it's so important to watch what we're feeding the field. If we can get this message out to the masses, to start feeding the field positivity, let go of what mass media is showing you of this, war, this. Yes, have compassion, but send love and healing thoughts to the field. And, let's pray for peace on earth. Let's send out into the field as if it's already done. And we have to act as if it is already done, because the Bible says, believe in the things unseen as if they are seen, and then they will be. And ask and you shall receive. And this is what is necessary. And God even says to test the true and pleasing will of God, you got to renew your mind. So let's change our programming. We have been programmed, yes, like a computer. We take in so much bits of data every single day. We have to be careful what we are absorbing from the field. And we have a choice and free will to change. It is not the easiest thing for some people. But when you consistently stay aware in the present moment of what you're thinking and feeling, and many of us don't even live inside our body. We are living in the future, or we're living in the past. You're worried, you're just dealing with and angry about things that happened in the past, and you're worried or focused on the future. And many times it's not of what you can do to make the future better. It's you're looking at the future as, oh my gosh, what am I going to do if? Oh my gosh, what if this? And it's all bad what ifs, not what if I was abundant in health, in wealth, in wisdom? What if? Start thinking in positive terms. So what we have to do is be present, because the present is a gift, okay? That's why they call it a present. And tomorrow's history, the future is a mystery, but the present is called a present because it's a gift from God. And if we can live in that present moment, we literally open our vessel for divine knowledge to come through us. And as a creative being, you know, I love creating content. I love art. I love creating. And as a creative being, we all are creative. We just forget that we are co-creating reality with God. And we are, you know, pushed away from it and told and steered off from either our beliefs, our culture, our, you know, society, that, oh no, we are victims. We are not victims. We are co-creators. And God wants us to wake up to this ability, because when we do renew our mind, we are testing the true and pleasing will of God. The things we can co-create is beauty. Now, manifestation is real. And many people look at it in a materialistic way. Oh, I want to manifest a house. I want to manifest a car. I want to manifest, you know, a lover. Why not be whole and complete and manifest peace on earth? Because when we do that as a collective and it's not materialistic, those material things are not going to bring you the happy and joy that you think, yes, momentarily. But how many times have you bought a new car and, oh my gosh, it's great for like 6 months and you're all excited, and then next 6 months after, it's like kids are just dropping trash and it's a mess, and I'm guilty, okay? But material things only satisfy in the moment, and we're looking for that true satisfaction of abundance and joy all the time, and we are never going to find it in external material things. We're going to find it in our heart when we open our heart up and we focus in this present moment of feeding the field positive things. The experiences around you are going to bring you that joy, because it's so mystical and magical feeling when things are created through your thoughts and you're co-creating with God and you're asking through a vibrational frequency. And you want that frequency to be high because you're always receiving what you are. You get what you are, not what you want. And yes, of course, I'm not saying don't manifest things if you want material things. But if we all let go of the thoughts of just wanting to manifest material things and we focus on manifesting peace on earth, unity, collective consciousness raising, and the vibration of humanity raising, imagine the beautiful things we will naturally manifest. You'll manifest all those things, all that money, all those cars and houses, whatever it is that you're looking to manifest. That will be a natural subset to the peace on earth, because when we have that higher vibration, things come naturally and quick, and it takes time. Don't say, okay, I'll be happy today and I'll be grateful today and I want it now. No, it comes in divine timing, but you have to get on that frequency in order to receive. And I said 51% of the day, and I've done studies and I've been able to manifest within 24 hours because I was truly in my heart space. I've been doing this for years, but why not start now? Because there's no better time than the present. Everything is now. And if we can give our hearts and souls to the divine and say, all right, God, I'm ready. Use me how you want to use me. Whether you believe in God, the divine source, energy, whatever it is, a higher entity that has been able to keep us grounded on this earth, whatever it is that you believe in. I want you to understand that we can communicate with this quantum field, whatever it is that you want to call it, and ask from our heart, not in begging terms. You know, I was taught to pray as a child of, you know, please, God, please save me. Please help this person, please. No, because we're begging. We're not acting as if the unseen is already seen. And that's what the Bible says. They want us to be grateful now as if it is already done. So instead of begging, say, thank you so much for helping heal this person. I'm so grateful, and feel it. You have to feel in your heart. And I'm going to share my secret formula. Not really a secret. I've shared it many times. And maybe it's out there, but it's something that I got as a download. And it's the secret formula I use to co-create my reality for myself and others and put intention out in the field is: joy is the key to unlock the door to manifesting, okay? Joy. Joy is a high vibrational emotion. Gratitude as well. You need to have gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude, okay? If you have an attitude of gratitude and you're grateful for everything, be grateful for your eyes to even watch this live. Be grateful for your ears to hear this live. There's people that can't see and can't hear, so let's be grateful for them. I'm grateful for my mouth to be able to speak and my vocal cords. I'm grateful for this platform to be able to be used to share my message, and hopefully it touches other people's hearts and souls as well, and they want to try to change what they're feeding the field. And then feeling is the secret, okay? Those three things: an attitude of gratitude, joy is the secret, and feeling it. Well, joy is the key, Gratitude is the attitude, and feeling is the secret. We have to feel because, again, our hearts have an electromagnetic wave 60 times greater than our thoughts. Imagine. This is what's allowing our biofield to extend around us. It's giving us life. And when people are living in stress, pain, shame, guilt, grief, suffering, their hearts are closed. Their energy, their biofield is so small, and it's because the energy has to go to feed their organs to keep them alive. Again, we're grave diggers. Let's be life givers, not grave diggers. Those thoughts that you've been sending out of negative, I'm telling you, those are coming back to you in some way. If you're thinking negative to someone, change those and send them love. Because if you want more love and joy to come to you, you need to send it out first. And your thoughts are penetrating other people's biofields when you think negative things, and it's harming them. And we don't want to harm one another because we are all one. When you harm another, you're harming yourself, because that is the collective consciousness that is in the field of all of us and affecting us all. This quantum field is real. Okay, it is permeable. We can feel it. If you walk into a room and there's just been an argument, or, someone's really, you can feel that anger. You can feel that frustration. You go, ooh, this does not feel good. We can feel energy. We are energy vibrating at a frequency. We attract what we are. Like attracts like. This is when I believe we can have divine science, mixing spiritual and science together. Now, I get into disagreements or debates with some family members that say, no, they can't come together, but they can. And when we do, that's where the magic happens. When we can take, quantum physics and metaphysics and blend it with spirituality. It doesn't have to be a certain religion. There's so many religions. I looked it up, and at one point it was like 4,000. Then I saw another thing. It said 10,000 religions. Well, some people feel that their religious belief is the only way. And I believe God would not give the answer to only one. There's a fragment of truth. Well, there's truth in all, but there's pieces that if we all come together and bring our beliefs together, we get even more of the divine nature. Buddhists, about meditating, going within. The kingdom of God is within. We know this, but it's within. We have to close our eyes to what we see in this external world. And meditation and prayer is so beautiful. And when, we honor the earth and honor nature, we need this. Mother Earth is suffering, and we're seeing this. We're destroying her. We're pulling down trees and, creating wars and setting fires. Like, there's so much turmoil going on for Mother Earth, and she's begging for our help. And she will give back through nutrients, through the soil to grow food. And food is another thing. We need to start caring for our vessels, because if we cannot care for our vessels and feed it life-giving food, what you feed that has life into your body gives you life. What you feed that is dead, processed food in your body brings death. One brings life, one brings death. And the crazy thing is doctors, I think they have like a week worth of health classes teaching about nutrition, but they're taught everything about what pharmaceutical things they can give you to help. Nature is our best healer. God said he gave us everything to be abundant, whole, and complete. Everything. So what we call weeds many times are actual herbal remedies for ailments that we may have. But we've been told they were weeds. This is the programming. Oh, pull them and throw them out so that way we don't use them. I've literally shifted everything that I hear that comes out of the mouth of the higher ups to try and confuse. I sit and discern with it, and I do my own research. And I suggest everybody to do their own research. Don't believe what I'm saying. Do your own research. I've done my research, and that's what I do all day long. If you notice, I haven't promoted anything on social media in maybe 2-3 years. I'm promoting positivity because that's what I want to feed the field. I'm promoting that because that's more important to me right now. Yes, I'm going to create some products and personal stuff on awakening and renewing the mind. I'm in the process of that now to share with humanity, but I want to feed the field. Use your Facebook feed to feed the field positivity, okay? It's so important. Our news feed gets seen by many, and I don't use Facebook that much, but my feed, it shows positive people because that's who I associate with. My Facebook friends, those of you who are watching, you are light to my day. I see positive things on your page. Now, if I see other people on their Facebook and I look at their feed and I know their vibration is on a lower side, I see nothing but talking about gossip and, oh, this isn't right and this isn't right. Rather than being a solution, they are the victim. And that, they're feeding the field. They're going to continue to see more of that in their life because that's what they're associating with. You do become what you associate with. My mom told me this as a child, be careful who you hang out with because you are who you hang around with. And that's true. Our biofield, if we hang out, we want to hang out with people that raise us up, that bring us joy, that make us feel whole and complete. And that is the power of using our own thoughts, send it out positively into the quantum field and watch what comes back. It is real and it is magical and it is beautiful. It's really not magic because magic is our normal state, but we call it magic. When these synchronicities align for us, it is so beautiful. So try to feed the field positivity. And when you consistently do this, 3 months, I'm telling you, 90 days, it transforms your life. You will not know who you are. And if you want, you can go to Amazon and find it. Ultimate Success Blueprint. You can type Kristen Leigh, Ultimate Success Blueprint, and you'll find that book there. It's so beautiful. Or you can just do it yourself. But the key is to feed yourself things that are nurturing and growing and positive in your day. Stop scrolling all this drama that you see or watching the news and following and talking about, oh my gosh, did you see what's happening here? Yes, if you're going to do it, have it with compassion and sending love and healing thoughts to them because we are permeating. It's like we're dropping that ripple, our thoughts of compassion into the ocean of this quantum field, and it will ripple out. Every action and thought you have affects the whole. And if you're angry and you take it out on someone, well, now they're angry, take it out on someone. But if you're joyful and you're full of gratitude and share a compliment or kind words with someone, it makes their day. They're going to do it for someone else potentially because they're feeling good. They're going to smile at someone, and then that person that they smiled at feels good, and they're going to, hold the door for the next person, and they're going to go, wow, today was beautiful. People were really kind today. That's how you build community with people around you. When you do something nice for others without reciprocity, it comes to find you. And if we all do this as a whole collective of humanity and feed the field compassion, try to do one thing nice for someone you don't know or even someone you do know. A text. Send a friend a text and let them know you're thinking about them. If someone pops in your head, go, hey, I'm thinking about you. I hope you're having a beautiful day. That's going to make them feel good. Oh, they were thinking about me. And many times, if you're thinking about them, I did this last night. I wish I could show my screen on my phone. But I texted my girlfriend as I was falling asleep last night. It was like 9:30, and she popped in my head, and I was like, oh. And I said, miss your face. I've been thinking about you. And she goes, oh my gosh, I was thinking about you today. How did you know? I was going to text you, and then I ended up getting distracted. That made her day, and that beautiful synchronicity of her thinking of me and me, our thoughts are transmitted to each other. And by doing that, it was a little bit of magic that made us both smile and feel good. Okay? I want you to feel good in your days. And I know life can be heavy. I know it can be hard. And you may be going through some sickness, some ailment, or people you know. And know that a lot of times, if you change your emotional state, I'm going to say a lot because I can't say 100%, but the miracles that happen when you change your thoughts, your health will change. Thank you for sharing positivity. You're so on point with health. I have been working and sharing the health message for 43 years. Beautiful. I absolutely love that, Danette. Our health is dictated by our thoughts and our emotions. And this is one thing that people are waking up to. When you go to the doctor and go, oh, I've got this pain. Well, every pain is the body showing you that you're not in coherence. Your heart and brain are not in coherence. And when you start thinking those positive thoughts, it will dissipate that dis-ease in your body. It's energy flowing to that area. And I'm going to share a miraculous thing. I was doing a modality that I do, and I'm going to be sharing with some people. It's called Cogno Movement. And I was working with one of my friends who, his wife passed away. So we was dealing with a lot of grief. And the grief is held in the lungs. Well, because he was holding grief for so long and not letting go with his wife passing, he's in his 70s. I think he's 78 now. And he grew 2 tumors the size of pears on his lungs. And I had a hypothesis, and I wonder if, using this modality, because it can remove the energetic blocks of emotions in the body and renew the mind through neuroplasticity, I wonder if we can renew his mind to see the beauty and joy and gratitude of the time he got to spend with her on this earth, rather than the loss of her being gone, because she's really not gone, because death is of the body, not of the soul and the spirit, which is eternal. And to let him know, if he raised his vibration, he can actually connect with her and ask for signs, and they will come. Well, so I worked with him 4 weeks, and then he went back for his scan, and those tumors disappeared. he was able to heal himself, and we're able to heal ourselves. And he was using the quantum field. God is able to heal through requests, and he was showing God that he is desiring this change because he was changing his vibrational state. And I believe, my hypothesis is that when we change the emotions from grief, which is really low, and brought them to compassion and understanding and love, he was able to change the chemicals that were created in his body that were feeding those tumors. And when he changed those vibrations, the chemicals changed in his body and it became to something of life-giving, that it starved those tumors and they disappeared. And again, there's no scientific data or anything on this, but my hypothesis and thought with my intention and his intention to heal the grief, where now he is in such a beautiful place. I'm so grateful because he was actually able to commune with his wife, and he can ask now. And he texted me the other day. He now moved to Alabama with his nephew, and he says, I sit out here every day, and Darlene comes to me. She comes to him in the form of cardinals, butterflies, and feathers. Those are his signs that when he sees them, he knows, he feels her presence. And it's because when we are so heavy, if we lost a loved one, we're not able to feel these. The vibration of our biofield connecting and knowing and sensing. You've been able to sense people around you. Spirits are going, oh, I feel my grandmother or grandfather close to me. They are. When we are in a higher vibrational state. And this is so beautiful. It is our innate ability, our intuitive gifts that were given by God that we've been told are woo-woo. It is real life. And it's our mirror neurons that are able to mirror what we feel and see in our mind's eye to manifest it in our reality. And we are soft technology where we have our biofield is like antennas picking up information from the quantum field. And that's how we can feel people's emotions when they're around us. But if we raise our vibration to gratitude and let go of the grief and the heaviness, we're actually holding those spirits hostage in a sense by holding that pain. Where if we just go, I'm so grateful that God allowed them to be in my life for the time that they were. I am so grateful because I know that they're healed and happier on the other side. We will feel them and know them and connect with them. I can connect to my grandmother so fast now, and I can hear her speaking to me because I have attuned through, I've taken mediumship classes to understand it's not woo-woo. It's our divine nature to be able to connect to those who want to connect to us and hear the messages of the angels around us and be guided. And it's our intuitive, some call it a gut instinct, but it's because of our receptors of our biology and our body, our cells. There's trillions of them, and they all hold energy, 0.05 joules of energy each cell. Granted, they're not all active, but we're able to turn them on with these positive emotions and renewing our mind. And that's how we're able to test the true and pleasing will of God and connect to these other dimensions. It's not mystical. Well, it is in a sense because we've been trained out of it. But if you follow ancient wisdom from way back, and I've been studying ancient wisdom so much to understand what was happening, way back, and studying the Essenes, Essenes, where they were 500 years before Jesus. And Jesus was said to be an Essene before Christianity came around. And there's a whole story about how the Romans and, said anybody who was an Essene, they'd kill them because they were natural healers. They knew their vibration, their emotions, their thoughts can help heal people. And that's why prayer is so powerful, because our intent of healing thoughts for someone goes out into the quantum, and Jesus says yes. And with collective prayer, it is so powerful. And that's why as a collective whole, our intention of healing our planet, healing humanity, raising our vibration and consciousness to one of Christ's consciousness, which Christ had, which was you are whole and complete. He didn't look at anybody as unhealed. He said, you are healed. And he knew it. He declared it. And then it was. So it will be. And so when we take, if you want to take the biblical scriptures with quantum science, it all intertwines beautifully in the symbiotic melody of humanity and the planet. So we need to start loving our planet. Stop using toxifying chemicals and plastics. And, it's a work in progress. But if we all do our part to heal ourselves, our emotional state, and our thoughts, we are doing good for the collective whole. And it is a ripple effect, and it will transmute out and feed the field. So thank you, Chris. Thank you for sharing the knowledge. I just hope that everybody can go out on their day today, and I just pray, and I am so grateful that everybody who watches this may take a little piece and do their own research of this stuff that you don't believe in, and take what resonates with you and leave the rest. I'm not asking you to believe in my beliefs, but I have seen that the beliefs of positivity, joy, gratitude, and feeling from the heart, science has found it to be true, and I believe it wholeheartedly, that the heart is the gateway to multiple dimensions. And it is what, we all need to open. We need to heal our hearts. We need to forgive others and forgive ourselves. Because when we hold on to unforgiveness, it's a heavy burden to bear, and that's going to cause you dis-ease in your body, cause you disease and sickness. So if you are sick right now, think of who you may need to forgive, and also forgive yourself for holding on to it. And it doesn't mean condone what they have done to you, but it means you're letting go of that burden. It's not your burden to bear. Let it go and let God take care of it, okay? Let go and let God. Elsa said it beautifully. Let it go, let it go. We have to let go of what doesn't serve us. What serves us is positive vibrational emotions and positive thoughts to others. So if you're holding any thoughts in your mind of negativity towards someone, let it go and think positive, because it will come back to you. What you send out will come back. Like attracts like. And believe in the unseen. We have to have faith in knowing that our intention is so powerful to heal the planet, humanity, and beyond. And if we all do this and stop listening to the narrative that's being fed to us, and we feed the field love, the narrative being showed to us has to shift. The shift is real. And I believe that we can all shift our thoughts, renew our minds to test the true pleasing will of God that Romans 12:2 says, and be the change we want to see in this world, and it will manifest heaven on earth. Heaven is not just a realm. It's a feeling. It's a consciousness. It's a vibration. It is a collective whole of unity and love. And when we love other, like I was saying the Pledge of Allegiance the other day, one nation under God. We are not that, but we are pledging it, and we have our hand over our heart because we are asking and we are declaring it to be true. And if we continue to do this and declare one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, it will happen. But it's sad, so many schools have removed the Pledge of Allegiance from school. My son's school still does it. They do it in English and in Spanish because it's a trilingual school. They should do it in Chinese too, because they know Chinese. But we need to start being undivided and stop judging others, because guess what? If we walked a day in their shoes, we would start believing what they believe. But if we infuse love and light and showing them through our actions, because actions speak louder than words, that we are living the divine word of God and working on renewing our mind into the positive vibrational states and believing in the unseen as if it's seen, as if peace on earth is here now, we all can make the difference. But it takes us not waiting for Jesus to come up and save us in Revelations. We're not waiting for that. We're using our Christ consciousness to bring light to the fact that we can connect to the divine Christ consciousness, the consciousness Christ had of believing that we are whole and complete just the way we are, and that everybody is whole and complete just the way we are, and that we are abundant and we are fine. We are okay, because your beliefs are so important to your intention, because if you believe you can or you can't, you are right. Your belief is everything, and your faith follows. So believe and have faith that what you desire and you put out into the field will come back to you. So make sure you keep it of a positive note. And I'm going to end this live with a quote that my mother told me when I was a child, and I have never forgotten, and it's so suitable for this live, is keep your words soft and sweet in case someday you have to eat them. And that is so true, because our words are our wand, and it creates our reality. What we say, I am, and whatever's after that, God says, yes, you are, because he only says yes. So let those words be of life-giving, not of life-taking. And keep those words soft and sweet that you think and you speak, because you are eating them in one way or another. So make sure they are nice and sweet. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this live. If it resonated with you, I'd love it if you'd share it so we can help more people feed the field of positive words and change, be the change we want to see, and watch it happen. I believe we can do this. And the more we work together, rather than competing against each other, we are going to bring the peace we desire, because in our divine nature, that is what we all desire, is for happiness and peace and joy for ourselves and others. And we have to be that change we want to see. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon.